You can have some help with your closing costs by getting a seller's concession. It's a very helpful tool to lower your upfront costs when buying a home. It's a tool that's sometimes misunderstood, so let's talk about it. Some people believe that a seller's concession is the seller paying for your closing costs. It is, but it's absolutely not. Why would the seller pay for your closing costs? Now, a seller's concession is when the seller of the home that you're buying agrees to pay a certain amount of the closing costs, making the home more affordable by lowering your upfront fees. But in the real world, the way it works is they'll take the purchase price inflated by the seller's concession, so you're still paying those closing costs, but over the life of the loan at a lower interest rate, which is much better than you bringing a huge check for the closing cost. Now keep in mind, the seller's concession is not always offered. It's up to the discretion of the seller. The good news is that it's no cost to the seller because the purchase price is normally inflated to compensate for the seller's concession. This way the seller is made whole. There is a tiny drawback to the seller though, and that is that when the appraisal is done, the market value has to come in high enough to cover the purchase price plus the seller's concession on top of it, of which there's a real easy remedy. You just ask the seller, hey, why would there be an issue? It's not like I'm overpaying for the property. That issue casts away any sort of doubt. If they still give you an issue, just float an idea that the attorneys can draw up a clause into the contract stating that you will pay the difference out of pocket for any seller's concession that's not covering the closing cost. It's really that simple. Now let's talk numbers. In New York, if you're not paying any sort of points, normally you can estimate the closing cost to be about 4.5%. Hypothetically, let's say the purchase price is $100,000. That would make the closing cost $4,500 in order for the seller to be made whole and collect the $100,000. So the new price is $104,500, including the $4,500 in sales concession to cover the closing costs and your prepaid item. This way, the seller walks away with their $100,000. If you've got any questions, I've got Mo answers. I'm Mortgage Mo, and I hope I was helpful. Happy house hunting and stay blessed.